talking again, and then we're gonna get into striking. Today's emphasis is gonna be striking, and then we're gonna combine it with the different grappling-based aspects that we did last week, and we'll get to do some cool combinations of everything by the end. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's all get a mat, and we're gonna start with some sun salutations. I'm just gonna reach over you, but I won't hit you. No, you're totally not gonna. You are totally fine. Here's two.
Start kicking.
Two more. I'm gonna set one up for you right over here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally. And
She's just watching.
okay. Got this one here. All right. So let's start with a sun salutation. Let's go. Let's just do a big inhale, and then one of those exhales. One more time, be really loud. Inhale. Good job. All right, so inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands as you step back, lower halfway, and then inhale to up dog. Then exhale, push back to down dog. We're just gonna stay here for 5 breaths. We're doing this so that we can warm up our back and striking. There's a lot of twisting, a lot of movements. We're also introducing some new movements. I have no doubt that you are all very fit and capable of the movements, but we just like to protect our bodies. Inhale, step your hands in between your feet. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands down. All right, we're gonna do 4 more of those. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back and lower halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, push back to down dog. Step your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. All right, 3 more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back. Lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Step your hands in between your feet, in between your hands, I mean. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. All right, 2 more. You don't have to stick quite so closely on anything that I am saying. In fact, I'll just be quiet. You can follow me if you want to. Stay where you want to. Ready? Inhale up. Awesome. Last one. Inhale up. again, we're just warming up the back because there's some new, maybe not new, but there's some twisting motions involved in today. So we're gonna inhale, sway your back. This is our cow. And you're gonna exhale, arch your back for the cat. Inhale for the cow. Exhale, arch it. Inhale, sway. Exhale, arch. 2 more, you can do them on your own breath. When you're done with your last one, go ahead and push back to child's pose. So spread your knees just to the edge of the mat, and then push your butt back to sit on your heels. Just breathe here for a second, and be proud of yourselves for coming. Your desire to protect yourself and the effort it took you to get here is commendable, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. Go ahead and sit on your bum. You can be on your mat or away from your mat. We're going to do 5 technical stand-ups. That's the last part of last week. So what we did last week. Oh, I'm so glad that you feel better. We were commiserating with you last week. So for our technical stand-up, I'm going to turn around right in front of you so you can see it. We are going to take our left foot, slap it down on the ground. Our right hand, we're going to slap it down right behind us. Our left hand, it's coming up right in front of our face. Our right foot, we're going to lift up. Then we're going to lift up our hips. And we're going to bring our right foot behind us. Stand up in a fighting stance. All right, that's 1. Let's sit back down. We're going to do our break fall to sit back down. We sit, tuck the chin, and absorb it. Sit back up. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can do them on your own. If you already got it, we're doing 5 on each side. I'll keep doing them up here. Right hand slaps down, left foot slaps down, left hand in front, up, and bring it back. There's 2. Left hand in front, right foot up, hips up. There's 3. Left hand up, right foot up, hips up. 4. 1 more. Up, back, bam. Yeah, nice. All right, we're going to do it on the other side now. Slap the mat. This time we're going to slap our right foot on the ground. Our left hand goes right behind us. Our right foot goes, right hand goes right in front of our face, and our left foot is going to lift up, hips up, bring it behind. Solid stance. Everybody has a good side and a bad side. No worries. Slap that down. Our right hand is in front of the face. Our left foot is the one in the air. Lift up and pull back. The good thing about having a weak side is that it really enforces the neural pathways when you do it. Right hand up. I talk about neural pathways and I totally forget which side we're doing. We're left foot up, right? Right hand up, hips up, back. 2 more. Last one. Why do we stand up like this again?
Get ready to fight them off.
Yeah, we're ready to fight them off. Also because if I'm on the ground with an opponent, I just got hit or something, I don't want to come crawling up and give them my face to their knee or their feet. I want to keep my guard up in between us my hand is up to protect myself. If they come rushing in on me, I'm ready to keep them away with my legs. And when they get enough space, I'm going to do my stand up right here without ever making myself vulnerable. All right, so let's talk again for a second. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff that we talked about last time. We kind of just got to say it every time. First one is trust your intuition. Give yourself permission to be rude, to feel safe. Your safety is way more important than being polite or not making anybody else feel any kind of way. Number 2, always scanning and being aware of surroundings. Paying attention to the people that are around you, paying attention to the buildings, the space, the cars, the distances. A really cool thing about coming in here and learning these moves is that you develop a sense of the distance that you need to be. One of the moves that we are going to do today, 2 of the moves, require different distances. One of them is a straight punch. Bam! In order to throw that effectively, I need the person to be at the end of my punch. So just by being able to evaluate how you want to punch somebody, as opposed to, we're going to do elbows as well. Bam! That's like, they're right there, they're in your face. So that's a different kind of strike, that's a different distance. So you guys are going to have that inside of your heads. Oh, this is striking distance, oh, this is elbow distance. And that's going to help you to evaluate other people as they're close to you and seeing what possibilities there are for action in the future. Then, all the techniques that we're going on, they are legitimate techniques that I use inside the cage. People all over the world use them in professional fights and street fights, but we're not going over them here for you guys to win fights and become the street fighting champion of the world. We are going over them here for you guys to be able to buy time to get away or to get help or to call for help or to get attention or to prove that you are not an easy target, to make someone rethink what they were about to do and to get you the time to get away. We don't want to fight if we don't have to. Running is way just as great. By being aware of your surroundings and trusting your internal warning signs, that's going to help you to avoid a lot of situations. And carrying yourself with confidence. Yeah, I love how everybody popped up like that. With confidence and alertness. Those we are focusing on being confident and alert. I go through phases when I realize that everyone does it, gets down in the dumps, and sometimes I won't really want to participate in the world, and I'll have my phone out all the time, and I won't even want to look at people, and it just happens. But the problem with that is that there's a big difference between being somebody who doesn't have good posture, who's not scanning their surroundings, who's not paying attention. That's an easy victim. A person who is walking confidently, scanning their surroundings, aware of everyone out there, paying attention, that's somebody who is not an easy victim. And that's what we want to see ourselves as. That's what we want to be, is a confident and aware person. And so do what you want to do in this class. There's no pressure to do anything. If you feel comfortable with it, go for it. And if you don't, that's fine too. Does anybody have anything that they wanted to share or thoughts? I think that we kind of all got names last week.
Oh.
Are you okay with just telling us what your name is?
My name's Elisa.
Elisa, cool. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi. Oh, I'm Christine, by the way, from Berkeley. I was just trying to put a description in the video so people know I forgot. Thank you so much for having me and letting me videotape your class. Our class.
Yeah, our class.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here and thank you for filming. It's going to be on Facebook Live if you guys want to be able to watch it later and go over the stuff that we did.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let us go ahead and we're going to get straight into it. we are gonna start with striking. So let's stand up and we're gonna find our fighting stance. We can, yeah, you can just throw the mats back. All right, so I think that, did we have everybody is right-handed?
I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
We have, okay, cool. Perfect. So if everybody else, you're going to stand with your feet underneath your hips in a line, and then you're going to take your right foot and you're going to move it back so that if it was on a square, it would be on the diagonal. And then you're going to bounce a little bit. And then when you're ready, go ahead and settle and see where it moved. It probably moved off of the corner a little bit. It should give you a pretty good base at this point. The importance of a good base, we talked about it last time, when getting pushed or getting pulled, is that we need to have this solid base underneath us. We need to keep our hips underneath us in order to keep that solid base. So if I get to a point where I'm like this, or if I ever throw a strike and I'm like this, my head isn't over my hips, and so that's going to give me not a solid base. Anything that I want to do, I want to make sure that my spine is right above my hips. I can get power for things, we're going to go over them, by rotating. I don't have to drive everything forward and come off and sacrifice my balance. All right, so we've got our balance, we got our stance. We're going to lift up that back heel a little bit. And then I want you guys to shift back and forth, like as if you were a tall glass of water. And each leg you can choose. Sometimes you put your weight into your back leg, like 80% of your weight is back here, and then only 20% is on the front leg, and then it's like you're pouring that glass and you're shifting the weight to this front leg. And so this is our movement, is we're shifting inside of here. And part of the idea is that you should feel secure as you're shifting. Try not to bring your toes up when you rope back, because we don't want to be a boat where we're rocking back and forth. We want to keep our stomach kind of crunched in. Let's put our hands up by our face. We're going to make fists, and we're going to take our thumb. We're not going to put them on the edge. We're going to tuck them behind our fingers. When we try to punch things, we want to make sure that we have a straight wrist. So go ahead and just check your wrist right now. I don't want it to be turned up like this or turned down. Try to make them straight and then bring those back. All right, so let's just shift here for a second. Keeping that front toe down, you're shifting your weight from the front foot to the back foot. Awesome. You guys feel secure here?
Yep.
All right, let's do some moving. We're going to go forward. When we go forward, it sounds really obvious, but your front foot is going to be the first one to move. We're going to step, and then our back foot is going to follow up and get us right back into stance. So we don't want to take huge steps because we're going to lose our balance. We want to take small steps and then catch up to our stance. So let's go ahead and walk forward all the way to this mirror. Step and follow. Step and follow. Step and follow. Yep. Step, follow. Step and follow. You're stepping, following. Great. Go ahead and just keep going all the way to the mirror. All the way to the mirror.
I have a question.
Yes.
What if, like, snowboarding and one feet, but I'm right-handed?
That's cool.
Same?
And yeah, a lot of it comes down to what's going to feel the most comfortable for you. So let's choose one to work on for today.
Okay.
And then,
Like this. I'll do right first.
okay. Okay, and if at any point you want to switch, then you can just
I'll
go
do.
Yes. All right, so we're going to go backwards now. But that is a good question. Yeah, we're going backwards. Now our back foot is going to be the first one, and our front foot is going to be the one that leads. So we go step and follow. Step and follow. Making sure that the whole time we're keeping our chin tucked and our hands are staying up here by our face. We're backing up in our stance. Step and follow. Step and follow. Nice. All right, let's go forward one more time. All the way up to the mirror. Get a little head movement in there, whatever makes you feel tough. I like to make faces. All right, and backwards again. We're gonna stop about halfway when you get to the same level as me. All right, so now we're gonna go to the side. When I go to the side, again, I want to move the foot that's already in the direction of where I'm going. Because if I were to move the foot that's not closest in the direction, I would get crossed up, and that would make it easy for them to take me down. It takes away my balance. I try not to ever have my feet crossed. So we're going to go to the left, so that means that our left foot is going to move first, and then our right foot follows. Yeah, you are. Keep going. She said keep tough. Make sure it's a small step with that back foot because you don't want to end up crossing your feet. Now we're going to go to the right. The right foot's the first one. Right foot steps, and then we follow. Go ahead and take your time. Small steps. Just make sure that you're not crossing your feet. The most important thing is not crossing your feet. Nice. Looking solid. All right, now we're going to go at a diagonal. Getting crazy here. So we're going forward on this diagonal. I feel like this is actually probably the easiest one. Unless you're the left natural. All right, and we're going to go backwards on that same diagonal. Then we're going to go forwards on the other diagonal. That one's a little tiny bit hard. Wait, a little bit hard. So you're going to kind of step to the side, step forward. Step to the side, step forward. The point is just that you don't want to be crossing your feet, which nobody is. Great. Now we're going to go backwards on that same diagonal. Okay, cool. Everyone's really good at this. So now we're going to make it into a drill. So we are going to get with our partner, and we're going to face our partner. We're only going to do this for 1 minute. We're both going to put our hands up. So for 1 minute, first, one of us is going to be the leader, and then we're going to switch for the second minute. So for the first minute, if I'm the leader, then my partner is just going to follow me. So wherever I move, she's just going to follow me. If I go backwards, yup. If I go forward, she wants to keep that distance. If I go sideways, oh, yeah. Nice, perfect. All right, so let's get partners, and thank you. Yeah, I'll come and partner with you. All right, so we're gonna do this for the 1 minute. If you're the person on my side, you're the one who is leading the dance. Go for it. Go forward.
Whichever direction you're going, that
I follow you.
Exactly.
Well, I'm
Whatever you do, I'm
yeah, you're
following
supposed to count or whatever. Okay, so if I.
What's another one I could do?
All right, time. All right, and now the person. What did you say?
I'm not sure.
That's moving and grooving. That's what we're doing. All right, if you're the person on the other side, so get back to the same spot that you were. The person on the other side is going to be the leader now.
Oh boy.
Ready, follow one, go, 1 minute.
Square dancing.
Yeah, you guys feel a bit like square dancing. I feel bad at square dancing.
Feels like possibly you're in the cage, following your fighter.
Yeah, it does. All right. Looks good. next one, we're gonna go over how to throw the straight power punch. So if we were doing a Muay Thai or boxing or a striking class, then the first thing that we would go over is the jab. In my fighting stance, my jab is my lead hand. It's the one that feels things. This is the one that I'm setting things out with. I'm coming in. The jab is a lot of fun. I highly recommend taking boxing and Muay Thai classes. Hitting pads is one of the best workouts. I really enjoy it. It's a great cardio workout. It's a nice accessory to a weightlifting lifestyle. But we're doing this for self-defense. We only have a short period of time. We're not going to go over all the strikes. Instead, we're just going to talk about the main power strike. The reason it's the main power strike is we're using our power hand. It's going to be for most of us the right hand, and if you have a switch stance, it's going to be your left hand. The reason is the power in my punch comes from the rotation in my body. So when I'm in my fighting stance and I've got my right side pulled back, what gives me power is my hip turning and my shoulder turning. That's where I get the most power inside of my punches. Now, there are some women's self-defense classes and courses, instructors that I have seen and watched who have said that it is not advisable to punch people because there's so many small bones inside of our body. In that regard, I do agree it's way better to punch the neck. You have a hard weapon, so you want to look for a soft target, because if you have your hard weapon and you hit it against a hard target, then there is a chance that that could hurt. Ideally, you're looking for the throat or something like that, but in the time, if it comes down to it, if somebody has forced the situation so that you're punching them in the face, in the body, if you're punching them, period, then I want you to know how to generate the most force, and anywhere that you hit them is way better than not hitting them. So, think about the neck, but we are also going to practice just punching with it. All right, so our right hand, that's our power punch. Our left hand in striking, that one would be our feeler. So usually what I would do is I would use my jab to touch somebody. I'm getting our distance with that drill that we were doing. If they're too far away, maybe I would need to advance. I'm coming in, I'm feeling out my distance. When I can feel like I've got it with this hand, then that's when I turn it over. But we're not looking for the fight. We're not chasing someone down for this fight. So we're going to have some different uses for our left hand. For right now, we're just going to talk about throwing this right punch. So we're in our fighting stance, power punch. I'm trying to not use right hand dominant language. We're going to work on throwing our power punch. So we're in our fighting stance. What we're going to do is, remember how we don't want to get overextended like this? And that's a way that a lot of times people want to get power is you want to do it, not you, a lot of other people want to do it, like they're throwing a ball, like a kind of a pitcher and ending up that way. And that is a great way to get power, but we want to keep our stance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step, and that's going to keep our hips right above our feet and our head right above our hips. We're going to take a step, we're going to follow with that step, and our punch is going to come in the middle. So we're going to step, punch. Let's all do it together. Ready? We're going to step, punch. Step, punch. We're going to do it all the way until I get to that camera. Step, punch. Step, punch. Step, punch. Step, punch. Step, punch. Step, punch. All right. Go ahead. Back up in your stances. Stay in your stances. Fighting stances. Hands up. All right. Now I want to watch you guys. Go ahead and step and punch. Step and punch. Step and punch. All the way to the front. Yeah, oh, I'm really glad with how you guys aren't overextending over your hips. That looks awesome. I'm super happy about that. All right, so we are going to partner up, and we're going to throw these punches on our partner, just to get the feeling. I've got some pads. So how we put the pads on is we're gonna slide our hand. You might have to undo the Velcro to get your hand inside. But you're gonna slide your hand in, and you're gonna grab over the top, not with your hand against the pad, but with your hand facing, so your palm facing the pad. Here you go. All right, so let's put that in our right hand, and we're not punching as hard as we possibly can today. Why are you looking at me?
That's funny.
I'm sorry.
That was hilarious.
I meant everybody. I had no way to see you laugh. No, see? You hear what she said? Now I feel targeted. Okay, it's gonna come out today. You're wonderful, and I love your
Yes.
We're all trying to get on that level. Okay. The reason that we're not punching as hard as we can is because we're still working on the wrist structure, and I don't want you punching so hard that it could compromise your wrist at all. And we're also working on the pads as being pad holders, and there is a technique to being able to slap into the punch. And so we don't have enough time to get into all of that. We're just doing the basics of the move. Now I'm like, I get it. We're just doing the basics of the move. So we're not punching as hard as we possibly can. This time, we're focusing on the form and landing well. So we are just going to get with our partner, and our partner is going to get in their fighting stance, and we are going to stand at a distance from them so they have to actually step into the punch. So we're standing too far away for them. Oh, on this line. Perfect. So we're in our fighting stance on this line. Our partner is going to walk towards us in their fighting stance until they're close enough, and then they're going to throw their right punch. Yes, and then they're going to back straight up in the fighting stance. Yeah, go ahead and do that one a couple more times. Great. Nice, in the fighting stance. I know, see?
Do I step back or do I just go forward?
Nope, 7 minutes is like how you're doing is perfect.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome. Okay, and now we're going to switch. The other person's going to throw those. I'm going to actually hold it
Okay.
like this.
Okay, good.
All right, other person, you're going to walk towards them and throw the punch. So you've got you're a little ways back, so you're walking until you get within the right range, and when you feel that you're in the range, you're going to throw the punch. Yes, keep in your stance. Yeah, I love it. All right, and your hands are going to come away from your chin and then straight back to your chin. Yeah, let's do this for a couple more seconds. Oh, I love how that they're all straight punches and coming right back. Dude, you guys are already looking better than half of these guys' classes. I love this. Okay, so next thing, where same person's going to keep holding the pads. We're going to do the next thing. We're going to make this punch a little tiny bit better, and that is that as we step in to throw it, we're going to exhale. I try to go, but when I'm actually going, I usually go, ha! I'm still working on it. Whatever kind of noise you prefer making, the noise actually helps you to hit harder, surprisingly enough. And it helps you to flex your stomach so that if you get punched at the same time, that you can absorb it better. And it helps you to stay connected here so that you do a better rotation throughout your whole core, as opposed to if you were just relaxed and it turned into just an arm punch. Because we're doing this with our right hand, we're advancing so that we can throw all of our power into this punch, but we're keeping our balance. That's what's helping us to step back. All right, so let's throw 10 straight punches, and let's exhale on each one of them. whip. Like if you throw a, or I guess we don't really use whips a whole lot. Or, yeah, to each their own. I bet that everybody is familiar, and I can talk without blushing, about a wet rag. Like, you guys have all hit someone with a wet rag before. So, you know when you flick out a wet rag, part of what makes it sting so much at the very end is that you're already pulling it back by the time that it comes out. So we want to have that same effect with the punches, which is that I'm throwing it, and as it's landing, my hip is already pulling it back. I'm stepping and throwing, and my hip is pulling it back to come right back to my chin. And that's what prevents me from making it into a push, which isn't going to have as much of an effect. So I'm about 5 punches in. Let's get another 5 punches in with emphasis on that whip, and then we're going to switch again. And if you have questions, just shout and I'll come over. Doing good if you have questions? Okay, all right. All right, wherever you're at, do what? Oh, you guys are already switching? All right. All right, go ahead and switch, and the other person, you're going to go for the 10 punches. You're stepping in, you're throwing it like a whip. It's coming right back to your chin, and you're stepping back in your stance. All right, yes, I love it. The shifting. Totally. Nice with the breath.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Okay, I'm forgetting to do that.
Excuse me. That was awesome. No, that was wonderful. That's exactly what. That's great.
I know you're fine.
Get back. Yeah. Let's try to turn it over. Hey guys, when you're landing these punches, it is totally an effective strike. Can you hold that for a second? It is totally an effective strike to come this way, to come with a hook, to throw an overhand. All of those are effective strikes. The one that we are working on today, though, is designed to get the maximum power out of the movement. That's why we're stepping in, and we're trying to turn it all the way over so that the top of my knuckles is pointing towards the top of the pad. When I land, I want my body positioning at the time to be such that, as you can see, I'm pretty protected right here with my jaw. My other hand is up. I've got my shoulder is up, protecting the other side of my jaw. This is a very big difference from being like this or from being like this. That's how, when we try to generate power, that's how things can turn out sometimes. But that's not what we're going to do. We're staying in our fighting stance. We're coming in, and when we throw, bam, we're working on being protected right there, and then pulling it back. It's a little bit hard to dwell in that moment when you're whipping it out there, but I just want to put that inside your heads. I'm about, I think we're about halfway through. Nice. Okay, one difference I'm going to make is as you're going forward, when you throw your punch, you try to make it a rotation instead of looking forward. Because you were rotating, it's just that the emphasis was you were putting wonderful power into it, but it was lifting your back foot off the ground. Yeah, and so I want to be able to actually push off the back foot. Just like a track start, how you have that pedal right behind you that you push off of. That's where a lot of our power in the punch is coming from, is that we are pushing off of the ground, and that's a lot of the driving force coming into them. Yeah, nice. sure it comes right back up to here. Right
This
back,
one?
yes, to the chin, yes. And then let's take a step backwards. And can you see yourself in the mirror?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So when everybody check your feet out in the mirror, you want to make sure that there's space in between your feet. And if there isn't, go ahead and step your back foot over the side just a little bit. It's going to help you get more of a feeling of a solid base as opposed to that tightrope trying to stay balanced kind of thing. All right. All right. Wonderful. Okay, we got that one. We're doing one more drill with that one though.
Okay.
This drill is, we talked about distance, we talked about the strike. So for this drill, what we're doing is we're gonna put the pads down for now. We're both gonna end up throwing a punch. So my partner is going to throw a punch at me, and I'm gonna jump back, and then I'm gonna jump in to throw my punch. So my partner isn't going to move. My partner is going to stay right where they are. They're going to throw a slow punch. I'm jumping back so that I don't get hit. She's going to pull her hand back and put it up. And then I'm going to jump in and throw my punch. So this is simulating if someone is striking at us. I'm jumping out of range, and then I'm jumping right back into range, throwing my strike. This is desirable because if somebody is actually swinging on us, I want to make sure that I've got my hands up where I'm protected. I've got my good guard up. I'm stepping back. I have integrity in my spine. If I step back like this and I get hit like this, I'm a lot more likely to get hurt because I'm already bent. I'm a lot more likely to end up on the ground because I don't have a good base. If I get hit in the face here, it's the force is more likely to send me down. So what I want to do is I'm in my stance, I jump back, and then I'm going to jump forward with my punch. It's advanced, but you guys are all really athletic and good at this, so I have total confidence that you're going to be very good at this. So I'm going to show it one more time. My partner is going to throw a straight punch. I jump back, they pull their hand back, and I jump in and throw my punch. This time you are going to feel that it's kind of far away because we're already here. If I jump back, if I don't jump forward enough, I'm going to feel like I have to reach forward with my hand. That means jump even further for the next one. Yeah, you guys thought this was just self-defense. We're doing jumping now. All right, so let's give that a shot for
So I'm going to pretend to punch it. So you're.
Yes, I love how you did the extra step in order to get it perfect.
Okay.
Forgetting to put my hand over.
Beautiful.
This?
Good contact.
Yes, nice. Way to come in. Way to keep the base. Beautiful.
So I'm going down first now. So
Yeah.
you're done right.
So like I'm trying to hit you, get out of the way, and then you come back.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Jump back.
All right. Looking good. Let's go. Oh, any questions on that so far? All right, let's switch. Let's get the other person.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let's
now.
give that one a shot.
Yeah, you're swinging at me.
Yep.
You're swinging at me.
But you gotta
Okay, I have to jump
I
back.
know.
so then you just put your hands like you really back.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Put it
Wait.
up.
You're not going down, so you want it too far.
No,
away.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm coming at you.
Got it.
Okay, then you step back.
Yep.
Come on.
Stay.
I got it. Okay. Forward, buddy.
It's better to get
Oh my God, sorry. Just do it right.
If you feel like you're coming up, though, I'm going to trust you more than my eyes.
I'm like, come on. Come on. Oh, you need that. Okay, that would work.
And now
You want to go down? Okay.
No, that's actually not everyone.
Yeah. Well, we're just getting the idea of the rotation. You actually do want but it's a great fun. Okay, let's do it again.
Okay.
You want to go more?
And then hop in.
Nice. Go back. Like, we're gonna get out of the way, so I can't punch you.
I keep thinking.
Are you guys hopping? High five!
Okay.
I'll the high five.
Sorry.
Okay. Do it again.
I should go a little bit closer so I
So start,
can go
yeah,
back.
yeah. We'll start here, and then go here, you go back out of the way, and then you come straight back.
Great. Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, okay. Step out of danger, and then you step into the project.
Okay, am I spinning up or spinning up?
Yep. Yeah, you totally can. The extra scoop, or if you want to, you can hop back in, depends on how like bouncy you feel like getting. But that extra scoot is really important, and it shows that you're doing a really good job keeping your head above your feet. Yeah, that's wonderful. Super wonderful.
Oh, I forgot it.
I love it. Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Thinking about
Any
it so
questions
much.
on that one? Okay. Okay. I love it. Doing great. All right. So the next one is the elbow. I love the elbow. Elbows are so much fun. They're so exciting. If you, because I know it'll happen, end up inside of a gym or someone's house that has a punching bag, or if you have a punching bag, or even just a wall sometimes, be gentle with a wall. Try just having fun throwing some elbows. I'm going to teach you an elbow right now, but I hope that you take whatever opportunities to throw elbows in the future, because they're awesome. Elbows are perfect for short distances. So, can I use you? So, if I have somebody and I'm at a distance where I have my rotation of my whole body, then I can throw my punch. Great. But if somebody comes in and they're forehead to forehead with me, all the way in, look, I can't really throw my punch with the same effectiveness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my face, and I'm going to throw my elbow. So our partner is going to cover their face too. So how we're going to practice this one is our partner is going to put their forehead to forehead. We're going forehead to forehead. I'm going to cover my forehead. She's going to cover hers too. I'm going to push to make a little tiny bit of distance, and then I'm going to turn, and I'm going to turn my elbow onto her. We're doing these very soft. We're going to do them on the bag after this, but we're starting off very soft. One more time. I'm right here. My partner puts their forehead. I cover my forehead with mine. I push slightly to get distance, and then I'm going to rotate my forehead. It's going to land on top of them. Thank you.
Yep.
So, you know how it's going to go on top of somebody. Let's go ahead and do it in the air, and then you're going to do it with your training partner. So, let's start with your hands on your head. Hands on your head, because if we're close enough to elbow somebody, then they're close enough to elbow us. Plus, we're talking about a self-defense situation. It's street fighting-ish type. I mean, it is. You can do anything. There's no rules. You can do eye poking and gouging and hair pulling and scratching. Anything that's a soft target. It's all there. It's all available, including headbutts. So maybe you want to do a headbutt. Totally valid. Your forehead is really, really strong, especially if you have your forehead land on a softer target, like their nose. But even better than using your head is using your elbow, because then you don't hurt your head.
No, I had a guy friend tell me that the best, like if someone's throwing a punch at you, just to put your head down so they punch her. Would that be wise?
Mm-hmm.
That
I would,
do that.
if someone is trying to fight,
Yeah.
and they want to break their opponent's hand,
Do that.
and they want to demoralize their opponent with this like give me everything you got, you can't hurt me, kind of mentality, then yes. But if we're going against somebody who is any kind of bigger or stronger than us, then we want to just avoid getting hit at all. Because it's a fight. That's one of the reasons that we like grappling for self-defense, is because when we grapple, we use leverage points and we take away the distance needed for someone to strike. And that way we can kind of neutralize someone's size on us. But in a fight, it's all possible. Anything could happen. Like you can get clipped, something like that. So yes, if you're fighting, yeah, you totally. That's a great technique. I've seen people get their hands broken on foreheads.
I just wasn't sure how it would feel. That was why.
Yeah, it'll lead to like some knots on your forehead.
Yeah, but you won't get knocked out.
No, it'll be on the side that you get knocked out. In fact, one time I was doing this elbow with this guy that I was drilling, and it was a sweet elbow. I stepped to the side, and I got this spinning elbow, and I had elbow pads on, so I was like, oh, I can do it hard, it'll be fine. But I totally hit my own arm. Instead of like doing the tip of the elbow, I hit my own arm, and his head won. So, that's the next point that we're going to talk about with the elbow. We're about to drill it. So, we're going to drill it with our hands on our forehead. And then when we actually do the elbow, we're going to rotate our hands so the back of our hand is coming towards our palm. Our hand is open. That's going to help our elbow to be more sharp. Yeah, it actually makes a big difference if your hand is open or not. So, that's our arm position, and we're going to do the same turning of the hip that we did for our right punch. So we're in our fighting stance. We're even going to take a little step just to get all that extra power in it. We're going to step, turn the elbow over, and turn it. So we're going to do it with our rear elbow. Yep, it's going to be this one that we're doing it with. The rear elbow, we're going to keep it in. Yes. Yes, it's the rear elbow that we're going to turn over. That one's going to come like it's coming. Yeah. Let's get the elbows in a little bit closer though. That way we're really protecting our chin. Yes. Awesome. So it's going to be the right elbow. So go ahead and let's do an elbow strike. Step and strike. Yeah. As we strike, that hand is going to come down to our chest. So before we do the step and strike, let's go over the hand movement one more time. Yeah, totally. So our hands are up by our face, and then our right hand is going to make its way from our face down to the middle of my chest. The back of my hand is right here on the middle of the chest, and then my elbow's coming down. Yeah, let's do that one a couple times. Just the hands. So my right hand, it's on my face, and now I'm going to rotate my hand so that my back of my hand comes towards my chest, and then my elbow comes up and over. Yes. One more time. So my right hand, it's on my face. It's going to come down, back of the hand towards my chest, and my elbow's going to come up and over. Yeah. And now we're going to add the rotation into it. So we're going to do a little step. Our back foot is going to follow as we bring our hand over and turn our body with it. Yeah. All right. So let's do it again. We're going to do 5 of these. I'm just going to go 1, then we're going to step and do it. All the way to 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah! All right. Next one we're going to do is going to be from the same position, but this one's going to be an upwards elbow. So, in the first position, I'm coming down on somebody. If they even have their hands in the guard, this is going to come and slice right down the middle of their forehead. It might even cut them right here because we're making our elbow sharp. Maybe that's not what we want to do. Maybe they're way taller than us. Maybe we don't have that angle. Maybe we see a chin or something right in front of them. So another elbow that we have is to come straight up. Yeah. So this one, we have our hands in our face, and we're just going to come straight up. We're not even stepping with this one. Yeah. I love that you guys are all intuitive with this movement. So we're not stepping with this one. We're just turning our hip and letting that elbow come up. Yeah, actually, that totally is the cue for how to do it. Is you're slicking your hair back. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
Oh,
do
that's
this.
great.
Yes.
I'm just trying to fix my hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. Bam.
Part of that slicking your hair back is that you're keeping your hand open, and that keeps your elbow even more sharp than it would be.
Oh.
Yeah. I love it. It's gonna make me happy all day. All right, I want to come and see everybody's. Yeah, the more that you turn that hip, so here's part of this is that when I'm throwing a punch, I can throw that punch and they can be pretty far away from me. I'm covering distance. But my elbow, as you can see, it's not as long as my arm. So in order to cover that distance, I have to step forward if I'm doing the overhand elbow, or if I'm doing this upper hand elbow, then I need to turn my whole body, and that's what's going to bring my elbow forward, is I'm turning this really hard. So I don't want to keep my stance and just lift up the elbow, because I'm not going to, it's possible, if you're in a situation, don't let me tell you it's the wrong thing to do. Anything that you do is better than not doing something. Anything you do with conviction can work, and that makes it the right thing. But in here we're going to practice, so what I want to see is you really turning your body so that by the time that you're done, I want your striking side hip to be in front of the other hip. All right, let's just do that one a couple times. So it's going to be this elbow is going to come out. That's okay? Yes. So here's my forehead, and try to land that right on my forehead. Yeah.
I like that one. Yep. I like that one.
Yeah, so we've got the overhand, and then this one is
Then this one's easy to roll.
So you
This
try
one
to
will mess up
slap
a bit
it.
light.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I got it.
Yeah. So we're doing still the right elbow.
Right.
So you're gonna slip back your hair. Yep. Yes.
I was doing the left.
I was doing the left.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, that's what
So,
happened.
No, I'm standing next to you.
I trust you, Sam.
yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Don't watch me.
Hey, watch this elbow, guys. This is an elbow I'm really excited about.
I think I should see your legs.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so check out this elbow. This is, we're going to get with our partner, and I want you guys to do it like this. Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
open the hand.
Yeah, I love it. All of it. That's the motion, and you're right. You're putting the thought into the opening your hand. All right, so let's go with our partner, and we're just going to do it with an open hand, not on the pad this time. So first, we're going to be with our partner, and we're going to, you're going to hold your hand for them to do an elbow. So your partner is going to have their hands up. You're just going to hold your hand about where you would be if you were a jerk in someone's face. You're going to hold your hand about their chin level, and they're going to turn and bring that elbow up. The idea is that they want to, will you put your hand out for me real quick? The idea is that you're right here, you're just going to rotate and bring your elbow up into it. Rotate. I like sound effects, they make everything better. And there's your strike. All right? Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Who's gonna hold out their hand first?
If you're on this side, you're going to hold out your hand first.
Alright.
So make sure that your elbows are in tight next to your body, and we're not going to wind up. That's the beauty of our fighting stance.
Oh,
Yeah.
duh.
You don't need to wind up. So we're just going to stay here in our stance, and we're just coming straight up, driving off of that back foot to get the power. Yeah, nice. Let's not wind up. When we pull it back, so we're going to hit, and then we're going to pull it back. Solid.
Okay.
I want this to be inside your guys' head so that we're not, will you hold out your hand, please? So I don't, what we're going to try to avoid is hitting and then coming too far back or winding this up.
So inside of our head, we're gonna think elbow, solid. Elbow, solid. The idea that you're coming back into a solid position right here. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Elbow, solid. If you want to, you can step back
Okay.
to get that feeling. And then you can step in again.
Okay.
And then step. Yeah, way better. Keep those hands in. Keep that. Yes. Nice. Nice.
Solid.
Nice.
Oh, I gotta remember. Oh, there
Yeah. Yeah, nice. All right, switch. If you haven't already, let's get the other person to give these ones a shot.
I know.
So it's your
Yeah,
back
yours will be
hand.
up close.
Yeah, try to get it at chin level if you were a jerk in someone's face. Yeah. Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
So, just kind of
Yeah.
straight. Don't like, you're like here, then you're going like this.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Love it. All right, so let's.
Who's punching who? I think I'm punching myself. See how bad that is?
I've done that.
Okay.
All right, so let's work on. Oh, because we just switched the group. So let's go back to our beginning basics. So with our partner, I'm just going to do it right next to you. We're going to get our hands up, and we are taking our right hand, and it's going to just glide straight up our hair, like grease. Yep, gliding straight up our hair. So how we're doing this drill is we're going to step in and come up with it, and then step back to our solid stance. Step in, come up, step back, solid stance. Yes. Yeah. That's okay. No, it's the distance, so you just have to step in a little bit. Yeah, and let's keep your elbows in tight so they're protecting that chin.
The first one, the first
Yeah, and then make sure there's that
Step forward.
Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, so what's going on is you are doing your step with your front foot,
But not the front.
yeah. So what's happening is it's keeping you anchored
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here, and then
No, it feels like
it's
your
being
height
difficult to cover that last
Yeah.
distance.
I feel.
So you're gonna go
That's
first
different.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So we. Do you guys have questions on that one? How do you feel? Better. Better?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any thoughts? Okay. So we are gonna move over to doing some drills on the wall. We're only going to do them for a couple of minutes, each of them, and then we're going to try to review. We're going to see if we have enough time to review everything from last week. So we are going to get the pads again, and here is this drill. Okay, so the pad holder is going to, let's all be over here because we're going to be up against the wall. Each person's going to be up against the wall. All right, so the person doing the drill is going to be standing against the wall, but slightly off of it so they have room. And what's going to happen is the person who is attacking them, they're going to start a couple steps back. So we're doing two different situations on a wall. The first situation is if we see someone coming towards us, they look menacing, we already don't like it, we get into our fighting stance, we put our hand out. When we feel them touch our hand, then that's when we're going to turn around and throw the punch. So part of the idea is, will you be right there? Part of the idea is that we're not in a fighting stance. We're just chilling, and then we see somebody coming towards us, and we don't like the way that they look. We're practicing laying boundaries and putting down lines and saying, don't pass this line. So when we see someone, it looks like they're coming towards us, our intuition says, I think this person is coming right at me. We're going to listen to our intuition, and we're going to be like, stop. So I am going to be advancing with a really menacing look. She sees me and gets into her fighting position, and she puts out one hand, and she says, stop. You didn't think we're going to do a whole drill without yelling, stop it. So she gets into her fighting stance, she puts out her hand, and she says, stop. She has clearly defined her boundaries. She is clearly saying, this is my bubble, don't come into it. So then, when this person continues to advance, feeling that hand on the chest, there's no question. You are doing nothing wrong to punch someone at that point. They have come into your space. You are totally okay to defend it. So they push into that, and then that's when you're going to turn the punch over. Bam. Perfect. So we're doing 2 of these. The first one is the punch, and so in order to get it, we are going to have our hand out on them, and we're using our full distance. That's the way that our punch is going to work, is because we're using this full distance. So, can I hold the pad for you a couple times? So, we are, wait, so you'll be on the wall. So, she's in her fighting stand, or no, she's chilling. She's chilling. I'm walking up. She gets into her fighting stance, puts one hand out, and says stop.
Stop.
I continue to advance with my pad up. As soon as she feels it, she's going to turn that over and hit the pad. And then we're going to do it again. Same thing. I walk up.
Stop.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. Questions about that? Are you guys going to feel okay saying stop?
Stop.
Okay, cool. It sounds so silly, but like it's a really actually a big part of this and being here is practicing setting those boundaries, because unfortunately it's usually people who are close that that are most likely to be attackers. And so practicing setting those boundaries and saying something as simple as stop is going to make it easier if it ever comes to a time when you need to say that to someone, especially if it's someone that you didn't expect that kind of behavior from. So, let's say stop. Go ahead and one person on the wall. And no, it's just a game. I'm gonna come out.
So you're on the
Oh,
side.
yeah. So you're far enough off the wall that you can step back into a fighting stance. But you were smart. You put the wall behind you so that you know there's not anybody coming up behind you. Good plan. All right, so let's get a couple of these in. Stop! Stop! You're putting your hand out. You're leading.
You're stopped. Okay, and then when you touch it, throw that one.
Stop! So you can stay there. You don't have to
Stop!
stay right there. You don't have to advance on me. I'm going to advance on you. You're just going to hold your ground.
Yeah, further.
Yeah,
I walk with it.
Stop! Put that hand out.
Stop!
That's okay. When you throw that, hey guys, you know what I totally didn't say? When you throw the punch, pull the other hand back to your chin. So that you've got, this hand is out, and then when it's time to actually throw the punch, in order to get that rotation, you're going to pull that hand back. Stop, make contact, bam, and you get to throw. Yeah,
You were a party.
Stop!
Stop!
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
You did fine. I'm gonna hold this
Stop!
closer to your head. And
Stop!
let's do one more.
Okay.
I didn't hold it.
I know, I stop.
Stop!
Stop.
All right, let's switch. Let's get the other person to do it. always the best
Yeah, I
idea.
was trying to get away.
Yeah, getting away is better. Okay, so the situation, if it's a drunk guy, if it's at a bar and a drunk guy is
I'm just
coming
trying to
up.
get home.
Yeah,
Outside.
and no, you don't want to get into a fight. No, you're not trying to cause this whole thing. And so, yeah, diffusing the situation is great. Getting away is great if you can. That's wonderful. But if it's a situation where you're somewhat cornered up against a wall and someone's coming towards you and there's not a way to escape and there isn't a way to get away, then this is clearly defining the boundaries. It's showing that you're going to put up a fight. You're not an easy victim. And if he pushes past that, then he deserves to get hit. You're a respectable person, and the boundaries that you set need to be respected by people. They deserve to be respected, and if people don't respect them, then they deserve to get hit. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not encouraging you guys to fight.
Just if we need to.
Just if we need to, exactly. All right. Yeah, did you switch it? No. All right, so let's switch. Give the other person a chance to do it.
Yeah. You?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Practice does make perfect. I have to practice saying stop too. Laying boundaries is a big deal, especially for women. Like, we're used to being like, okay, what can I do? I'm gonna be comforting. Yeah, all of that. Society sets us up to have like this not mentality where we can defend ourselves and set our own boundaries. And so that's why it was awesome that you brought yourselves here, because you're already saying, I'm not going to accept that, and doing things like this, setting those boundaries. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. All right, let's see it. Let's go for it. Stop.
Stop. Maybe a lot.
I don't do this game. Okay, you threw me off.
I still have you down.
Okay, ready?
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on the other hand.
Yes, 'cause I'm gonna
We put that on the other hand. And then she'll have a punch across.
It's unnatural to be on.
Yeah,
the
she's
side.
a.
Oh, yeah, well, we're
You are throwing your right hand?
No, they're right.
You are you're right, you know I didn't actually cross. But in this situation, because we have the hand out, then it makes it awkward not to punch all the way over. Yeah, so you're gonna, this time you're gonna say, she's the one saying stop, and then you're just gonna hold this.
But I'm just gonna
So like keep walking everywhere. Like this.
It does feel nice, you're right. But you're gonna hold that up, and you're gonna walk in, she's gonna say stop.
stop.
Yeah, and you're gonna rotate this one.
Go back.
Stop. Stop.
Technically, you're getting past, you were doing it right last time.
Oh, yeah.
What I wanna do is I always wanna hit
Okay,
across.
ready?
But in this situation, if I go stop like this, then I end up having to punch across my arm. No, I wanna bring it in. It's.
I'm so confused because of the way I was doing it.
So I hold it this, so I hold it on this now.
Right, and you were doing it very well, but not everybody is doing it as well as you were doing it. And so I'm making it easier to not get crossed over.
Okay.
Good job.
And also like,
Oh, you guys look good. Alright, let's get you guys a couple reps.
Stop. One more. We did it.
Stop. Yeah. Perfect, yeah. Okay, let's do one more, and then we're gonna do an elbow. Against the wall as well.
Stop.
Stop. Good. Great. Okay, so the next one is, thank you, for this elbow. Sorry about my shaky breath again. So for this elbow, one of the principles I'm throwing on one of the principles of martial arts in general is that where the head goes, everything else will follow. And the chin is weak. The chin, we hit the chin, and that's when people get knocked out. If I have somebody and they're pushing up close to me and I don't want them to be close to me, I push their chin away and the rest of their body is going to follow. So we're going to use that principle to set us up for this elbow strike. This one is different. This time, I don't notice anything. I'm not standing, I'm not paying attention. I'm just chilling against the wall. Maybe I was on my phone, maybe whatever. And then my opponent comes in and they come straight into my space, forehead to forehead again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hand, the palm of my hand, I'm gonna find their chin, I push it back, and then I'm gonna step in for this elbow. We're gonna do it on a pad, but I want you all to visualize this. Yeah, we're not but I want you guys all to visualize this. Visualization is such a big part of this. I want you all to visualize that you're in this position, you're taking your hand on their chin, pushing it away, and then coming over with the elbow over the top. Everyone, indulge me, please. Close your eyes just for a second. And picture yourself, you're up against the wall, someone comes into your space. You're going to take either hand, let's take your left hand for now, you're going to put it on their chin, right underneath. You can even feel the edge of their jawline on the middle of your palm. You're pushing that away as you bring your right hand to the top of your head, and then you step into them, and then you land the elbow on their face. Yeah! Alright, cool! Let's get visualize.
I didn't know it was your side.
Okay, so let's get on the wall, and how we are going to do this with our partner is I am going to come at them. My pad is going to be this horrible person's face that's going to be in their face, and so when my partner comes in and they put this pad on my forehead, I'm going to take my palm, I'm going to put it at the bottom of the pad to push it away, and then I'm going to step into it and do my elbow on the pad. So one more time. They're coming in. I'm using my palm to push the pad away. This is creating space. And you know what? Maybe they're incredibly strong. And so it's going to be really hard for me. If they're big, I'm not going to push someone to all their weight with just my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a frame. I'm going to turn my whole body. That's going to create space. And then when I let go, they're even still leaning onto me. So you know how when a car crashes into another car coming at it, that's way more force than if a car just crashes into a wall. So I am pushing them. It was hard, but I'm pushing them, and just like the bigger they come, the harder they fall. The force that they're putting into me, now it adds to the force that I'm going to strike them. Got a little too All right, so you don't have to get too squirrely with the very first one, but let's feel it out. Let's do a couple.
Am I doing it again?
All right, so so you're up against the wall. Already up. So I'm already up against the wall. Just chill. I come in.
Yes,
We're just going to add it to
Yeah.
your other hand on your head, and then you're going to rotate it down for the elbow. Rotate it down. You technically, you can do either one. You can feel it out which one you like. But let's do the overhand one if that one comes naturally to you. Yeah, if you like the upper one, they're both incredibly effective and wonderful. So right,
I'm short, so right here.
Yeah, Martha!
Damn.
That one feels more natural. Nice! That one looks natural.
That's a great sound.
Totally.
Not
Sorry,
big.
I have it. I'd like to remember.
Yeah!
And then, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's one thing though, is that let's have this only on your head. This one in wind it back or to bring it here because I feel like I'm going to get more. But really, the most important thing is to cover my face when we're this close because this isn't their arm, this is their face. They still have arms that can do things. So I need to be covering my face right here, and that's one of the beauty about using my rear elbow is that I don't need to cock it back. I can just turn it in. Bam, and there it is. So I'm not cocking anything back. I'm here, I'm solid in my, I'm like, oh no, my first thing is to get solid. My second thing is to push on their face, and then my third thing is to drive my elbow into their dome. Okay, so those are the steps. Someone comes at you, here I'm gonna call it, and then if you're on the wall, then you're gonna do it. So step one is the pad comes at you. Pad is on your forehead. Step next is for the person on the wall. You're gonna get in your stance with your hands on your head, both hands covering your head. Next step is your lead hand is gonna push on the chin. And then next step is you're going to step in for the overhand elbow. Bam. Or the elbow, whichever one you prefer. Perfect. Yeah, this one, you can totally yell stop if you want to, but if somebody's this much in your face, you don't need to give them any kind of comment. You don't need to say anything. They blew everything. They violated all the rules already.
For you?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. No, like, if we don't need to be nice to them. They violated us by coming this close already. Like, they deserve it. And you don't need to apologize afterward. Someone's like, oh my God, I was just trying to say hello. Like, no, you're not allowed to get that close to me. You're not cool with me like that. I'll let you know if you are, and you're not. Oh, yeah.
So your hands.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, hands in the head. Push. Fighting stance.
Like that.
Try to keep your eyes open and then just exhale.
Was that aside okay?
Anything works. Yeah.
More pressure. More pressure. Okay.
Oh, this is my back hurt for some reason.
Which one?
Yeah. Go ahead and do one to me. Too much. Push on my chin.
No, you're good, because the person would be coming.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So I can use ears.
Get it like,
To push.
yeah.
Here, push it away, and then you put that elbow. Oh, perfect. You see how that lands right there? That's wonderful. Get it right there, and there's blood inside the eyes, and they can't see.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it's weird. Then.
I gotta remember, this is Sam here. Hold on, I got something more. Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, switch if you haven't already switched.
Or like move it to protect my face.
Remember, they blew it.
To get in your mouth.
All right, let's do it step by step one more time.
Okay.
So, the person who is on the wall, you're just chilling, you're leaning against the wall. The attacker comes up, and they put the pad inside of your face. So the first thing that you're doing on the wall is you're putting your hands to cover your face, and you're getting as much of a fighting stance as you can. It's tough because you're right against the wall. And then you're going to take your lead hand, you're going to push on the chin of the attacker, and then you're going to step forward as you rotate your elbow over to come down on the attacker.
Wait, so they're pushing away, are you pushing, okay,
So here's the thing is that doing it with the bag, with the pad, it's nice because it gives you the feeling of being able to land the strike, but it's not super accurate with how it's actually going to be. So I've been training for years. I know how frustrating this Like I'll have like a really good instructor and he'll have coffee breath sometimes. I'm like, I don't know how to learn anything right now. So I'm gonna come in and just to get the idea again, you're pushing on the jaw, and it's if I'm putting all my weight, if there's not gonna be a ton of room, and it's really gonna set you up to do that elbow strike to come straight into it. So I come in. You're gonna see how you're gonna take this hand, you're gonna take it down to my jaw. Yeah. Yeah. Doing it on the jaw, like I can't resist that. Even if I'm huge and big, maybe I can resist your hand. But then if you use the entire side of your body to turn into it, then I can't resist it. All right, so let's do that one a couple of times. It's 10:31. Let's if you gotta go, I totally understand. If you can do like 5 more reps, that would be wonderful.
It is different on the mat.
Yeah. Let's try to make sure they're starting from right here. Yeah. Starting from right here, pushing. And it doesn't need to coil back at all. I'll just starting right here, and then so. Yeah, we can go that way. We're gonna get more power from the right at that. Okay, so when she comes in, we're going fighting stance and defending. You're pushing on the jaw, shoulder, rotating. So this hand, it only travels from my forehead to my chest.
I feel like it's no, I just feel like
And then right back. Right back. And then right back. Right back. Forehead, chest, right back. Yeah! Forehead, chest, right back. That's everywhere your hand goes. Forehead, chest, right back. Forehead, down your chest, right back.
We're doing it too, he's having to push harder, get you up against the wall.
All right, ladies, I think that we are done. I am so sorry that I got excited about stuff and didn't go over every sleep thing.
You have till 11.
We have till 11? Oh. Dude, I'm so good at this. I totally planned a half an hour extra. Do you guys want to do this a couple more times, or are you ready to move on to the next thing?
Move on.
All right. So, in that case, man, thank you, Blair. Look, I even wrote last half hour. So cool. All right, so let's go ahead and put the I'll take. Oh, hold on, maybe we need them. Oh yeah, we're keeping the pads. Do you guys need water or anything? Anybody want a sip of water?
That would be great.
We're gonna come grab one. Thank you.
You guys help yourself to a bottle of water here.
Thank you.
All right. So last week we went over how to deal with getting pushed, getting pulled, and getting grabbed by the hair. So those are the things that we're going to go back over again, but we're going to do it with our strikes. So the first one is I am going to get pushed back. This was the drill that we did before, is I'm just chilling and someone takes me by surprise and they push me, and then I bring my foot back to my fighting stance. This time I'm going to do that exactly, and I'm turning it over into a strike. So how we're going to do that with the pads is that the pad holder, it's going to hold a pad, and they're going to push you with just one hand. in the middle of the chest. You're going to step back into your fighting stance and throw the punch. I'm just going to start sitting there. So here, fighting stance, bam, nice, solid. Super basic. Any questions on that one? All right, let's do it a couple times. Here's another pad. I took someone's pad. Oh, you got one? All right, cool. Okay. So I push you. You're actually in that punch. Okay. You're getting three push. I push you. And then I call that So I just want you to. You're. Yeah. Getting push. So you're just standing. I'm gonna push you. So I push you. Yeah, and then I call back. Oh.
I feel like my fists are down here.
It's okay, we're even now.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Love that you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. You might have to step in to get that punch in order to cover the distance.
Okay.
Any questions on it? How are we doing?
Good.
Okay. Nice. All right. Let's. Oh, good. Let's go ahead and switch. Let's let the other person throw it.
Okay, which one? No, sure, fine.
But yeah, just like going through the
So go ahead and step back. Yeah, now really good.
I'm trying to make it like straight.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want to lose that. Yes. Stay solid. If I'm too far away for you to hit.
I probably shouldn't jump back.
I got all Yeah.
Yay. Nice. Okay.
I would do both of those breaths because this is a movement.
You the punch part, I mean. I know, I think, did you think about that?
Yeah. Hey guys! I remember to stop right in the middle. Wait a minute. Freeze. Conviction. And we talked about breathing a little bit with the striking. And so we breathe with the strikes and with the movement too. So on this one, you're actually going to end up ideally doing a double breath. You get pushed back, you step in. So that you're coming back with breath out, and then you're coming in with your breath in. So it should sound a little bit like this. So if you're in your, ready? Yes. That double, let's go for that. All right, let's do it a couple more times. Well, all right, ready?
Oh, wait, maybe it is.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, punch the target.
Nice. Well done. All right, next one. We are. Any questions? Let me know. The next one that we're gonna do is the break fall, feet on the hips, up kick, technical stand up. All right. So it's gonna go like this. Is actually, why don't you push me first? So this is the situation where I get pushed so hard, I try to bring my foot behind me, but I can't. So I break fall. My feet are on the hips. I'm keeping her between us. I'm gonna do one kick. This is gonna be like the kick to her dome. I'm doing one up kick, and then she's gonna step back from that because we're simulating She doesn't like getting kicked. And then I'm doing my technical stand-up. I've got one hand in front of my face, the other hands are planted and my foot is ready, and then I'm swinging back up, and I'm in my fighting stance. Bam. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more time, and then we can all we'll do it all together.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks.
Okay, so to recap on the break fall, the point of the break fall is that I need to protect my head, so when I go down, I don't let my head hit. I keep my chin tucked, and I don't want to break my arms, so I'm not going to post on something. I don't want the force of me coming back to hurt something, so I'm distributing the weight. And then when she walks in on me, I'm putting my feet on the hips and I'm lifting up so that if she were to punch me, she wouldn't be able to reach me. And then I'm up kicking her. I'm using my foot on her hips as a step to keep me up. And then I'm throwing my up kick. You would do it way harder if it was real life. I'm throwing my up kick. She's being a good partner, so she's going to respect that and back up. And then I'm sitting up immediately to my guard. If she were to walk around in a circle, I would keep my feet in between us. In between us. If she walked back at me, I would put my feet right back on her hips to prevent her from being able to punch me. And then I would go through the whole cycle again. She's coming back. If she's far enough back, then I do my technical stand-up. Recap. All right, so we are not going to go through the entire cycle of everything. If we're the pad holder, can I do it again? If we're the pad holder, we are going to push them down. They're doing the break fall, then we walk in. They get the hips up. We're holding this in front of us so they can kick it. I'm going to respect that, give them enough space, and then they're going to get back up. Then we're going to do it again. All right. Thank you. Let's do 5 of those and then we'll switch. All right, so I'm the pad holder. Pad holder be on my side, please. And the person who's doing the drill is going to be on the other side. Yeah. Good, let's try to start lined up on this line right here. So, we're going to do the first one all together. The pad holder is going to step in, they're going to push you down. You're going to sit, you're going to do the break fall, chin tucked, and you're on your back. You're going to put your feet on their hips as they advance. And you're going to activate yourself so your hips come up off the ground. Yeah, how you're actually pushing. And now the person's going to hold the pad, you're going to up-kick their face. Up-kick the pad. And then they're going to step back, giving you space. You're going to sit up with one hand in front of your face and technical stand-up. You can do it on either side. Either side works. All right, so let's do it again. You want to do it again step by step? Yep. All right, step by step, one more time. So, pad holder pushes you down. You do your break fall, keep your chin tucked. They walk in, feet on the hips, and activate your legs. Keep them away. They're trying to come in, you're keeping them away. Yeah, that does work right here. And then you're going to up-kick the pad. Bam! They step back. You're coming up to your technical stand-up. Yeah. Great.
Bring it up a little weak.
Perfect. One note really quick. When it is time to do the stand-up, bam, you're doing everything. You're here, pushing back. You're coming up. When it is time to do the technical stand-up, in a real situation, you're not going to need to be like, man, my foot. All right, I got to wiggle this one. Okay, we're not doing any of that. You're just going to move quickly, and the idea is that We have done so many reps inside of here, and we're gonna do more next week, that it'll be implanted inside your mind, whatever it takes to get up. But since we're here right now, let's try and do the exact steps for the technical stand-up. Let's not rush the stand-up. Let's plant a hand, put the other hand straight up, hips up, bring the leg back, and then come back up to be ready. All right, cool. Okay. Oh, God.
Wait, so this what?
No, that,
Yes.
yes. That. Yeah. You know, so, actually, the last one. No, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was thinking.
So let's go over the San Francisco.
We're just gonna do this. Yes?
Yeah.
My right hand down.
Then you're gonna put your bum down,
No.
and then you're
Yeah.
gonna sit
So
down.
you-
But like, I mix
So
it
you
up,
have
like,
to
I just hands down. So it's like,
One more.
I started halfway with like all the things, and this one's down. And then
Oh,
You want to
yeah.
grab that, not that.
Yeah.
And then that's squeeze.
So we're.
Yeah, but you missed that one.
So you can always right back.
This one on the hips.
But I was just right, right?
Remember your turn.
Left hand, right foot is up, so you can swing it with moving the side. So, right.
Similar to something we got.
Right.
They usually know on this.
When you're ready,
So you're on the ground.
and I'm like, and now you do the technical stand. So plant one hand. Which one?
I'm right-handed,
Okay, let's do right.
You know, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna try to turn it this way, so I can slide it whatever. What are you doing?
Well, since the idea of this is buying you time to run away, then either way, yeah, we just want to get you to where you're standing.
Good one.
Okay, so one hand down. Let's go slow. And then you one hand down, slap it down, so I don't touch it. And then slap the opposite foot down. And then put the other hand in front of your face.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that's gonna slide up to the top of your hips. Bring it back.
Right.
All right, how we doing? Good. And did we already switch? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, Blair had a really good point. She was saying that if you get up with your dominant side and your dominant side gets you up into your opposite stance, do you want to practice the opposite stance so you get up into it? And what we mostly want to do is be able to get up and run away. So don't worry too much about which opposite stance or whatever if you're going to be ready for your fight, because as long as we're getting up into a stance, you've got power from this rotation inside of your body.
Probably would just come from my left hand.
Yeah, exactly. You can rotate. You'll feel that power, man. Adrenaline, the fear, the fight or flight, like it makes you so strong. It can feel like it doesn't. It can feel all kinds of different ways. It can feel like tunnel vision. I mean, everybody has their own experiences of it, but the adrenaline that comes out, even if it can make you feel like you can't move or like you don't have power or like you're frozen, but you have power over that. And that's a big part of what this practicing is about, is being able to override those feelings and then at the time being able to dig deep and find your power and the adrenaline that comes with an activated fight or flight response makes you really powerful. It increases your strength a lot. So you will have the power that you need. You have the power. Where were we? Have we done this one enough? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so for this one, let's put the pads down again. We're gonna go back to if we get pulled. The concept that we did last week was that if we get grabbed, then how we get out of it is we rotate against the thumb. Yes. So we're just gonna do that with our partner. We're just gonna grab, they're gonna rotate against the thumb. Couple times, I'm gonna grab them with the opposite hand, and they're gonna have to put some thought into it because now it's the opposite. So they're gonna rotate the, yes, always against the thumb. Because the thumb is the weakest part of my grip. If they try to pull straight out, I've got this grip because I don't even have to hold that strong. All I have to do is keep these fingers closed because her hand is bigger than her wrist and it gets stuck on there. But if she rotates her hand against my thumb, then I have a hard time with it. So let's do that. Rotating against the thumb. Grabbing a hand and rotating against the thumb to get it up. You guys are all there.
Rotate against mine.
So you're gonna
Oh, this way?
yeah.
No, like,
Yeah.
way to get.
Yeah, 'cause if like you did it
okay.
I did both ways.
Yeah, and I went
Oh,
across.
yeah, both arms and then
Try this. Against my, rotate
I'm
against
just pulling
mine.
harder. There you go.
It took me a second. Yes.
Get it out here to your fingers.
Yeah.
And you're gonna rotate your hands against my thumb. See if you go this way. Fingers, I force it. Yeah. Swing. Right? Yes. Yeah. One is kind of pulling.
It's like, I think that's-
It is.
Yeah.
If I'm really strong, I'm really
Yeah. Yes, go like that.
The other hand. Yeah. Good.
Let's go with the book.
A little bigger.
You actually have to learn it.
Yeah.
It's power. Short version.
Nice. Okay. All right. We went back and forth, right? Everybody got a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So then there was another one where if they grab with both hands, strong grip, I can't rotate against the thumb. Look, she's got both hands. If I go against the thumb this way, it's the hands on that side. So I am going to step back and get my base. I'm reaching over to grab my own hand. I pull it back. Dude, look at where I'm at. Look. And then I'm going to throw a punch, bam, right at their hand. One more time.
Pretty much did.
So she's grabbing. First thing, I don't want her to pull me back. If she's pulling me off of a cliff, if she's trying to pull me into something, first thing I need to do is get low and get wide. That's going to help me to stop being pulled. Then I'm reaching over to grab my own hand, and I pull it back, and then I'm using that to throw my punch. When I throw my punch, I want to cover up my face with my hand, because remember that even though we're working with our partners and she's being cool and giving me a target to punch, if it was an actual conflict and these things happened and she grabbed my hand and then I grabbed over, I had to drop, I had to pull it back, so it wouldn't be her hand that I'm punching, it would be her face, and that would leave her hand free to do something back to me, and that's why I need to cover my face and I'm punching at her hand, but I want you guys to imagine you're punching at their face and covering yourself up. All right, let's do that. So I'm grabbing.
Drop it.
My glasses.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want me to do it on that?
So when I grab your hand, it could be pretty hard for you to grasp. Yeah. But if you reach over and grab your own fist. Yeah. That should help you pull it back.
Lots down. All right.
And you do that. Look at now you're super in position with that right hand.
I always go across.
Okay. So it's okay. It's the other hand. You can still pull it back. And you're ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the elbow straight is there too. If I
Oh, you know, just tell me.
No, no, there's me. I just like.
Did you guys switch yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. No. Oh, it's my pleasure. Okay. The last thing is we're gonna go over the two movements for the hair grab.
Hair grab. Oh yeah. We need to know this.
Yeah. Totally. So the first one is the standing arm bar from getting pulled by the hair. Yeah. So will you grab my hair? Thanks. So the first thing, if she grabs my hair, the worst position that I could be in is if I'm completely broken down. If she brings me to right here, yeah, she's got her knees. She can just hold me there and punch and kick her. If she straight arms me right here, look, there's not a whole lot that I can do. That's like the worst position possible. We do have a solution for that we're gonna do in 1 second. But if I can avoid that, then I'm going to. So if she grabs my hair, first thing I'm gonna do is step in, because then my hips are underneath my head and it's gonna make it a lot harder for her to force my head down. So I step in, I grab her hands to glue them over, and then I take my elbow over hers, and I step, ooh, put a little pop there. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay. Maybe I'll do it on okay, make sure we tap if we feel anything. And I pop all the time too. It's fine. So we're grabbing, look, I'm stepping in for my base. I'm stepping in for my base as I grab and glue the hand to my head. And then I'm gonna start taking my elbow over her arm as I step to the outside and I start taking her back. Yes. Right now we're gonna go really slow and look for the tap because we wanna make sure that we're doing everything right. So we gotta go all the way to the tap and let's do 2 and 2, back and forth with our partner. 2 and then 2.
And going all the way to the tap means.
Going all the way to the tap means keep going with the move. So the tap goes up and then
I know.
so I'm gonna grab your hair. Don't mind it. Yeah, so you're gonna step in, please. Yeah. And that doesn't hurt. So stand up on your head. I want to grab my hair because I want to pull your head down so that I can do all this. And because something can prevent that from happening, stepping in.
Yes.
One more? That's when I can pull you down that I can do, and then sweep your way
So
down.
if you were back up.
So that.
Oh, this way.
Push yourself to.
Swing this back.
Yeah. Great.
Be careful.
Okay, so now you have to take off.
I know.
And you just want to bring this elbow
Okay, I can do
over
this
my
side.
arm as we turn. And it
So the opposite way.
yes. And you're
Oh, you can't.
but like
So,
Yeah, there we go.
okay.
No, I know. It's something.
Okay, wait.
Yeah. give you for finger spots. I'm sorry. Sorry, we're switching it up. The very last thing that we're gonna do is pulling guard when someone has your hair. If someone has your hair and they immediately step back on you, pulling your head down, I can try to keep advancing, but if they keep walking back, it's easy for them to keep me down. So what I need to do is step my feet in, and I come up, and look, I'm back to guard. I've got my strongest muscles in between the two of us, and I'm ready to do my up kick and my technical stand up again. So I'll up kick, she'll drive it back, and then I technical stand up again. All right, so let's do that one at least once. Let's do that one at least once. We'll start next week with it. So you're grabbing the hair and you're trying to step back and pull them down. Maybe I can get you down. My hips. And then you're gonna up. Yep.
No, you're down. Yeah. Yeah, and then like how we did it.
Let's do it one more time.
And then, so that you're.
Got it. Grabbing your hair. Let's just start from.
Yeah.
When you go down the ground, like, you just get there and let go.
And then sit on your butt.
They don't want to
Keep your knees in tightly.
So,
They're not
right.
expecting to do that.
Right.
All of
Some
it.
they keep close to, like, you can make it
Yeah.
At the time.
But yeah, if I'm holding on, yeah, totally. See how we're close? You can do all kinds of punches. You can like gouge me in the eyes. I know she's so excited. Yeah, not gonna be like, oh, I don't like that. And then you can get this.
Damn, Brian.
Totally.
Alright, you guys got any questions? Alright, let's bring it in. Let's get a team on 3. Good job. Way to be here today. Good job doing this. Thanks for bringing your guys' energy and for doing all this stuff with commitment. I love it. It's beautiful. Let's bring it in. Let's get a team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team! Yay! Right, there's you. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Cool. Yeah. What do you like? Do you like this
Picture?
Okay. I like this right.
Are we doing a team picture too?
Yep. Liz is in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
So we'll go to- we're going.
Did you get a t-shirt at the end?
Yeah, we'll have it
And
next
it's
week.
so good for the mind too. Like
I wasn't
it's
sure if I
one of
was
my favorite things about fighting is that it distracts
Well, they're
me
like a
from all the
unisex
other like
t-shirt, so it's
never-ending thoughts inside my head, and so
Oh, yeah.
hitting pads with somebody is almost meditative because I can't think about anything else. I have to stay in my stance, especially if it's one of those pad holders who act like they're hitting you every now and then.
Yeah. One time, a while back, my sister and I, well, I don't know how my sister got hooked up with science. Well, I never had allergies when it was wet. Here in the doctor, it was like, no, but everything's like perfect. Yeah, like no, people.
Oh, but I already have them. That's great. Like I can.
So thanks for joining us today, everyone. It's really important for me to get you guys to see how to defend yourself, especially after, things have happened to me, things have happened to you guys, and it's really special to have this fighter, let's say, teach us today. So we're going to do a couple of moves after this, just what we learned today, and first we're doing a photo. Thanks.
Let's get in real close, ladies, real close. We're going to create the illusion that we like each other, even though we're just...
Yeah, we can go in front, people can go in front, whatever.
There we go. There we go. I'll have everybody looking right this way for me.
Come on. Get the
Looking right
fist
this way.
up.
1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Then everybody on 3 say fork you. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so clearly that's the cheer. We should
I need a good smile. Big smiles.
Yay. Sure. If anybody has extra time and you want to stay, we're going to do this thing for the Facebook Live right now where we just go over every single thing that you guys just went over.
Just in case you didn't catch it.
Just in case, yeah. If not, that's totally fine. I get hungry and want to leave gyms too. No worries at all. And I'm really excited to see you guys all next week. Yeah, totally. The plan for next week is that we are going to go over everything again, but we're also going to add a submission. I'm going to teach you guys how to do the rear naked choke, which puts someone to sleep. You can completely disarm somebody with that one. And I'm also going to teach you guys how to defend yourself from the rear naked choke.
Great.
Yeah, I mean that's only a part of it, but that's something to look forward to.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, cool. My pleasure. All right, so.
All right, here's the review, people.
All right, would you like to help me with doing all these
Sure.
drills one more time?
Okay.
All right, so we.
Do you want me on this side or that side?
I think that. So you're gonna be throwing your right hand. I think that that's the perfect place for you to be.
Okay.
So the first thing that we did was getting the stance for the striking.
Okay.
So to find our fighting stance, we took our foot. You jumped straight into it, which is perfect. We took our foot hip width apart, and then hip width back, and then we kind of bounced a little bit to make it a little bit more natural, and then settled into it. We lifted up our back heel. And we got our front foot as flat on the ground, and then we're shifting our weight. That's how we have our balance. It's how we don't stay too stiff. Is that we're shifting. I don't want to be, exactly. Everything needs to be loose so that I can move when I need to. So I'm shifting here. And then the first drill that we did was where we move with each other. So I'm going to move, and you're just going to keep the distance. So if I go back, you go back as well. The foot that is closest to the direction that we're going, that's the first one to move. Nice. And the idea is that we want to manage the distance. By managing the distance, we control whether or not someone else can punch us and whether or not we can punch somebody.
Right.
Great. Okay, and then the next drill that we did was throwing the straight punch. So we did that one with a step where we would have to close the distance. So you're in your fighting stance, and then you're stepping in and throwing the punch. And our emphasis on this one was in the part of why we're stepping in is because we don't want our shoulders to get really far past our hips. So we're stepping in, so we bring our hips with us, and then we're rotating for the punch. Yeah, and what that does is it keeps this foot on the ground so that we can get a lot of force in our punch from driving off of the ground, way more than we would get if we were acting like we were throwing some kind of a baseball throw, and then we lifted up and then we had that foot up. That would take our balance off. it's what we don't want to do.
Okay.
Right? I probably shouldn't be having us
I'll
do it if
ignore
it's
that.
what we don't want to do. So we're here and we're stepping, and rotating over that punch. Step, step, rotate. And the more that this shoulder rotates, the more power we're going to get. We're keeping our other hand on our face, rotating with that punch. Rotating and then bringing it back. Yeah.
Right.
Nice. And then,
Thank you so much for going with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. And then after that one, we did the drill
where, with a partner, I throw a straight punch. You're going to step back to get out of range, and then you're going to step back in range to strike at me.
Okay.
So we're going to go really slow with this. We're not going to hop this time. So you were right about the fighting stance. And first off, we are going to be in a distance where I would be able to hit you. And so when I throw it, you're going to step back, and then you're going to step in. Perfect.
All right.
All right, let's do that one just 2 more times.
Okay.
This is such a good one. All right. You step back out of range. Yeah. Okay, and now let's do one more. She's good, huh? Totally doing well. And now we're gonna do one more where you hop back, hop in.
Okay.
Ready? So you're back. Yes.
All right.
Love it. Very well done. All right.
Here's a mess.
It's beautiful. Okay, and then the next one was
The elbows.
Elbows are great.
Elbows are so much fun. I love doing them against the back. They just feel wonderful. So for this one, this is the one where we're gonna walk in, and I'm gonna get in your space. I'm gonna put my forehead on your space, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your hands up to cover your face, because if you're close enough to elbow me, then I'm close enough to elbow you. This is a bad example. Sorry. You're keeping your elbows in. That's how you protect your chin. And then when you're ready, you're going to use your right elbow. This one, the hand motion again is the back of the hand comes down to the chest. And then the elbow rotates over the top along with the hip. Yes. So then when we actually do it, we're here, and then we're going to step and rotate as we come down, and then it comes right back to our head. So we're not winding up or anything. It's coming from our head, step, rotate, right back to our head. Bum, and back. Oh yeah, we look good. Super good.
All right.
All right, so, oh yeah, the drill on that one is that I'm gonna put my forehead on your forehead.
My space.
Yeah, I'm in your space, and you're gonna cover up, and then you're just gonna do a light elbow on top of my head. Yes.
Do I back up?
You don't need to.
Okay.
You can if you want to.
Okay.
And this one is just gonna drop here and rotate it. Yeah, that's even better if you get me on the way in.
Okay.
Let's do one more though, where hands are down for starters. I'm gonna put my forehead on yours, and then you're gonna bring them up, and then you're gonna rotate into it.
I waited for contact.
Nice. Let's turn that shoulder. Yeah. Yeah.
More?
Yes, that's the rotation.
So a full rotation.
Mm-hmm. This whole side of your body is going to rotate. Yeah, that's where the power comes from. Do you feel how your abs get engaged and then turn the whole thing over? Yes. So I'm coming in. I love it. Over the top and coming down. Let's wait until I really come into your space though, just to get the feel.
Oh, wait. You did it differently.
Well, I'm being a little tiny bit too close to you for it to work, just turning it over. So let's go with your first instinct, which was to take a little step back, and that'll give you the space to come over. Yeah, totally. If my hand wasn't there, then it would have been a more sharp strike on my head.
Okay.
which is great. And
May sound strange, but I don't want to hurt you.
okay, and then the next one was off of the wall, throwing the punch. So you're on the wall.
Need to see the camera's up.
We can go back to where.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so you're you're standing close to the wall, but you're still far enough away that you'll be able to step back into your stance against the wall. And I'm coming at you in a menacing way. Tell me to stop when you find your boundaries, and you pull yourself into your fighting stance with one hand by your head ready to punch and the other hand there. You have clearly defined your boundaries. If I continue to advance on you at this point and push into your arm, I deserve whatever I have coming, and then you throw the punch. Yes.
Does this hand go down?
That one wants to come right back to your face to protect you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it again. So you're just chilling. You see me coming close. You get into your position.
Stop!
And the other hand comes up. Yes. I continue to advance. Yeah. Let's go and hit and then bring it right back. Right? As soon as I touch, then you can hit it and bring it right back.
Okay.
Like rubber band snapping. Like I come to this one, your right hand snaps out and then comes right back.
Okay.
All right. So one more time.
Stop! Oh,
No, that was perfect. That was wonderful. You predicted the distance and the timing. You didn't wait for me to touch your hand. You could tell that I was coming in. You could have waited for me to touch your hand with my chest, but you did it. You threw the punch. It was perfect. Very well done. Mission accomplished. All right. The next one is you're against the wall. Your shoulders are against the wall. You're just chilling. We're going to do this without the pad because feeling the chin makes a really big difference. And then I come at you. I'm going to put my forehead on your forehead. You're going to push my chin away as you bring your other hand up and get into as much of a stance as you can, even though it's a little bit tough because there is a wall right behind you. And then you're going to rotate and then come over the top.
which is the full rotation.
Yes. Full rotation, that whole side of your body. How you know you did a full rotation is if this hip ends up, see how when you do that, this hip ends up in that hip? Yeah. Okay, so I'm coming in, forehead to forehead. So you're gonna push my chin away to make space as you bring this one up to guard yourself. Bring it up to guard yourself. You're pushing me away on the chin. But see how close I am still? I want you to get a little bit of space, yeah. I want you to push me away, and then I'm pushing into you, so that then when you let go of this pressure, yeah, exactly, it makes my head come right into yours. Yeah, totally. It's like the two cars driving into each other, is that it doubles the amount of pressure. Alright, so I'm going to come at you again, and when I come at you, your reaction is going to be to put one hand to guard and the other hand on my chin.
Oh, guard first.
Or both hands on guard, because you're right, guard first. Both hands on the guard, and the front hand comes onto my chin, and then you're ready to go. Okay, let's do that one. Pull straight to guard. So you're leaning against the wall. Chill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's good. Let's do with it. When you push on my chin, I want that to be a and when you throw the elbow, there's the next one. Ready? Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Probably look like some goofball.
You know what? It's your first day doing it, and there are some corrections that we can make. There's corrections that I can make, and I've been doing it for 10 years.
Okay.
But we have next week, and we're going to work on a lot of them, and this is a great introduction to the techniques.
Perfect.
And ideally, you're going to love all this so much that you go sign up for a martial arts class, and you practice it all the time.
All right.
Yeah,
We
okay.
used to have one in Berkeley.
Yeah. Yeah. Jake Shields had one. I went there a lot. All right, so now we're going to do from the push, you're going to step back to your stance, and
and then throw the punch. So come forward a little tiny bit, and you're not in your stance yet. You're just chilling. You don't think, whatever. But then I push you, and step back into your stance, hands up, and throw that punch. Yeah, let's do it again. So you're just chilling. Yes. The next one is the one where I push you, and you're gonna do your great fall. You're dispersing the pressure, and you're keeping your chin tucked. And then you're gonna put your feet on my hips. You're gonna bridge up, making your hips active. You're gonna do an up kick, and then I'm gonna back up, and you're gonna stand up.
Okay.
With the technique stand up. So let's get you forward just a little tiny bit more so you don't hit that wall. So, not with your hands back though. Let's practice this break fall one more time. So let's stand here, hands across our chest, and we're gonna give you a little bit more space. We're gonna sit back, and when we sit back, we're gonna try to have our whole hand slap the mat at the same time to disperse the weight. I don't want to catch myself. So I'm here. Yes. Let's do it one more time. I missed a chance for technical stand up there, my bad. All right, so we're here, and let's sit and disperse. Great. All right, now you're gonna do that with the fall. Now I'm gonna push you, and you're gonna break fall. Ready? Yeah, nice. And then when I dance on you, you're gonna put your feet on my hips, and you're gonna activate your legs. Push up, because from this distance, I can't reach your head. Even if I try my hardest, I can't reach your head. If I use all 500 pounds of my weight, and I'm driving back, and it feels like it's bending you over, you can use your shoulders to walk back. That was the one that hurt your hair, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You use your shoulders to hit back. Look, there is my crotch. There is maybe my face, whatever. And then you're sitting back up, hand in front of your face. That is a great way to stand up, too. Oh, that works. We're still working on that technical stand up.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and then the breaking of the grips by rotating against the thumbs. Yes. Nice. And then if I grab with two hands, you're going to reach over, and then there's your strike. And remember that the first thing is you gotta get your base, because if I'm trying to drag you, I'm probably trying to pull you somewhere. Great base, it's making it hard. I try to grab you even more, yeah. And then maybe you have to step in, or maybe you have to hop in, or maybe this right here, I'm pulling, you get your base, you pull it back, pull your arm out. Maybe I'm so surprised that I just fall back and then you can run away. End of the conflict. Yeah. Next one is the hair grab, the standing arm bar from the hair grab. So if I grab your hair, you want to step in with the base. The first thing is always the base. You're stepping in, you're stepping in with the base, gluing that to my hand, and then you're going to bring your elbow over mine as you force it back. Yeah, there's like a wrist lock in there along with the arm bar. Hold on, yeah. So one more time. I grab your hair, you're basing, stepping in, turning around, and yes. Yes, I love it. Awesome. And then the very last one.
Woohoo, that's quick.
Yeah. The last one is pulling guard. This is, yeah. So we talked about how if I grab you and I have your hair and I just keep pulling you forward, it's going to be really hard for you to do that move because I'm moving. So what you have to do is you have to step into me, step in both feet, and sit on your bum. Keep your knees in so when it comes in, yeah, you've got me right. Perfect. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I don't like that. And then you get to choose. So you're keeping me in with this hand on your head, and you're pushing me away with this.
So you're off balance.
Yes, you only want to keep me in if you want to strike me. Otherwise, you can let go of me and focus on keeping me away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo! That was
Totally.
awesome. Thank you so
Totally,
much.
my pleasure.
Yay.
Very well done.
Okay, folks, you have it. Until next week.
Yeah, those are some moves. The whole point of all of this is to entice people to get into a training environment where they're training on the daily, because physically and mentally, self-defense, the awareness involved, and the trusting of the instincts, those are things that need to get practiced regularly, just like the physical moves need to get practiced regularly in order for them to be the most effective. But hopefully this is an enticing introduction that makes everybody want to go sign up and have some fun inside of martial
Definitely.
arts gyms. It's a great complement to lifting weights.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my
Again.
pleasure. My pleasure.
All right, signing off, folks.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you came. Thank you so much for being here.